Assalamu Alaikum Rahmatullahi Barakatuh. Well, we're back, and this is part 2 of talking about the Jinn, the demons, Ifrat. We're going to be talking about Dajjal and a lot more. So I want you to invite your friends, if you haven't done so already. Take a second here, just click and share this on your Facebook page or whatever you're watching this on right now. But do that so that other folks can get a benefit from this. You'll get the reward for it. And actually, somebody came to Islam from something that we were just doing in the last couple of days, and they were telling us about it, and they saw it right here from somebody that shared it. So I highly recommend you get with it and do that, because who knows, maybe somebody will come to Islam and you'll get the reward for it. I hope that's the case. All right. Now, we wanted to, first of all, let you know that there is a proof. We have a lot of people who watch us that are not Muslims, all right? And I know that. And some of them even like us. But anyway, there is a chapter in the Quran that is called Al-Jinn, all right? That's the name of the chapter. So if you know our website, which is called recitequran.com, then you can check that out and see it for yourself. Let me tell you how to do it. Let's see if we can get it up here. All right, type in, go to the browser, and then type in recite, RECITE, Quran, right? QURAN.com, then put the slash, the slash mark. Then after that, type in just two numbers, 7 and 2, 7, 2, and hit the return key, the enter key, and that should bring it up, and you'll be looking right at it. And what is it? All right. This surah deals with the subject of the jinn, and I read from it last night. I won't bore you with it again tonight, but I'll just tell you how you can get the same thing and share it with other people. I want to be sure you know how easy this really is to use and enjoy. All right? Okay. Now, let's go now to, here we go. They ask us to talk about the jinn tonight from the perspective of what it says to us in the Quran. Well, we know, as we talked about last night, that the jinn, this is where Lucifer, the devil, comes from, or he's called Iblis, by the way, in the Arabic language. And his role is always to be the biggest enemy to the human beings possible. His role, his job, his whole life experience, all he wants to do is to distract human beings, take them off the course, get them away from God, and get them into the hellfire with him. We mentioned that he started out as a worshiper of God. We mentioned that last night, that he used to worship Allah, God, alone, without partners. Except what? Except he was making himself a partner with God. How? Because of his arrogance, which is called kibr. And when you heard Muslims say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, what does that mean? Allah is Akbar. Akbar is the greatest of all. That's the form of the word. It's the greatest form of that word. It comes from a root in Arabic, kabara. All right? And kibr comes from this same thing, which means arrogance, false pride. Now, for the Christians that are watching right now, I know that you know about this. This is something that we all have to deal with, but having false pride or this vanity, supreme vanity, I'm better than somebody else. And they say, this is from the word vain, a person who is very vain, has a lot of vanity, all right? In the same way, somebody who has kibr wants to make themselves akbar, but only Allah is akbar. There were many people throughout history who wanted to be kings. They told people they were immortal. They were never going to die. And every one of them is dead. All right. But that's the curse of these people. They actually curse themselves by saying that they're not going to die. Everybody's going to die. Every single soul, every single human will die. Every single jinn will die. And every single angel will die. This is from the hadiths. We know that. So if, while you're listening to this, by the way, if while you're listening to any of this, that you would like to call us and talk about something related to what we're talking about, I wrote the number down so that you could see it. It's an 800 number. You can call that. It won't cost you any money. So it's 1-800-971-4383. Got it? All right. So now you can do that. If you want to call us, the phone is right here. Yeah. Got it right there. Got it charged up and very ready for you guys to start calling in. So if you want to do that, let me just show you again. 1-800-971-4383. Now, if you just want to call and say salam, that's okay too. Our motto is what? Worship the Creator, not the creation. And this is what it all comes down to. It comes down to this because the devil, now we'll go back to our subject, the devil, he's from the jinn, the people, those people who were before us, that we can't see them, but they can see us. All right. Now, the problem that they have is that the ones who are the jinn, are the demons of the jinn, or the shayateen. That's the Arabic is shaitan, and it's very similar to our word Satan. Satan or shaitan. And by the way, the Hebrew and the Arabic are very, very much alike, except their two letters are reversed. Sin and sheen are reversed. So if you say Satan or Satan, then in Arabic, that's shaitan. All right, we got somebody calling us right now. Let's take this. Hello, Assalamu Alaikum. Oh, Noura, you can call us back anytime you want to. All right. Just to let you know, the phone does work. Alhamdulillah. I think I should turn it up a little bit so I won't get distracted.
Hello, now that that's on, you have a caller.
All right. Assalamu Alaikum. Hello. Go ahead. You're on the air. Go ahead. Hello. All right. Call us back again. All right. Alhamdulillah. All right. So we're talking about the devil or Satan, Shaitan. Before there were human beings, this particular individual, Iblis, she's calling again, okay, or he's calling El Saidi. I think that's...
The caller has disconnected the line. Goodbye.
All right. All right. I don't know what's the problem, but you're welcome to call us back anytime, all right? You can do that. All right. one of the things that I think I made a mistake last night is having too many of these tabs open up on the, what do you call it, on the browsers. And I think that's one of the things that made my computer go down. I don't know. I've tried to figure that one out. All right. Now, let's, I had some notes here. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about how the shaitan, he got in the problem that he's in. Before there were human beings, there were jinn for a long time. And the jinn were bad people, good people, and so on. There was one amongst the jinn. This is a story that I heard when I first came to Islam. There was one amongst the jinn who wanted to fight against the bad ones. God sent along with him angels. And the angels and him wiped out all the bad ones. All right? Then this jinn could worship or do his prayers along with the angels. And while they're doing this, Almighty Allah is telling us in the Quran that he created Adam from dirt, from a sounding clay, actually, different forms of dirt or mud or whatever. And while God is creating him, and he, by the way, he was very, very big, very large. Allah is allowing this one to go and check it out. Satan. He got to check him out. And somewhere along the line, he said, if I was ordered to bow down because of this creation, I wouldn't do it. Now, I don't know if that story is true, because this is not a hadith. This is just a story that comes to us. And then he's told, remember, you said that. Okay? Now, what does happen, though, is because of creating Adam, the first man, before God blows life into Adam, he orders all the angels. He orders all the angels to prostrate or bow down or make sajda. Sajda is the word in Arabic for prostration, okay? And all of them do. All of the malaika make sujood. Illa Iblis, except for Iblis. That's what it says. So some people get the idea that the devil is a fallen angel. But how would it be that an angel who has no free will, they are not able to go out and make decisions on their own, they are not able to disobey God, how could it be? All right. Some people thought, well, let's talk to the Christian church. The Eastern Orthodox Church, they have something called the icon of the seven angels. Now, from left to right, there is Judiel, Gabriel, Selaphiel, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Barachiel. And now I might be mispronouncing some of these, okay? And beneath there's this big stone casting or artwork of them. All right, it's an icon. And beneath the mandorla of Christ Emmanuel are representations of the cherubim. And the cherubim are in blue and the seraphim are in red. And what is the seraphim? All right. Who are the seven devils? Now we talked about the angels. Let's talk about the devils. Lucifer. And now this is exactly, without a doubt, Lucifer is Iblis. Why? Because his classification, Lucifer, is arrogance. Arrogance. And that's exactly what I'm telling you. Because when God ordered all of the angels to bow down, they all bowed down. The only one who didn't bow down was the jinn, and that was Lucifer or Iblis. He refused. And what did he say? This is in the Quran. He said, I'm better than him. Ah, he said, I'm better than him. And that's, I refuse to bow down. Oh, wow. All right. That's kibr. We were talking about kibr a little earlier, okay? Then mammon. Mammon is another demon. Mammon is greediness. Greediness. I want. I can't get enough. No matter what I get, I want more. I want more. That's mammon. Then that's two. Asmodeus, and I hope I pronounced that right, is lusting after something, like lusting after a woman or lusting after a man, wanting it so much to be intimate with that. And this is what's described very clearly in the Old Testament and mentioned in the Quran about the people of Lut, Qaum Lut, the people of Lot. And what was it they were doing? And they lusted so much. The men wanted to be with men, and not just to shake hands and hug. We Muslims, we're always hugging each other. We're always shaking hands. We're always, holding hands and walking along because we love each other, but not in this lustful way that they want to have intimacy with the same sex. This is what it was talking about, lust, and this Asmodeus. All right, that's lust. That's the third devil. Then Leviathan. Leviathan is having the word envy within it. And this envy, or in Arabic, hasad. Hasad is something that we seek refuge in Almighty God from that envy. Because this kind of envy, there's a good kind of, wanting something for yourself that somebody else has, and there's a bad kind. Now, we all know about the bad kind, right? The bad kind is, I wish I have that car. I wish I have that house over there. Oh, this guy, he's got this money. I wish I have that. That's envy. But there's a good kind of envy as well. And Muslims should strive for that. When you see somebody who is memorizing the Quran and you say, oh, I wish I could memorize the Quran. That's a good thing. And you see somebody who is entering into Islam and having all their sins forgiven, and you say, oh, I wish I could be like that and have all my sins forgiven. That's a good thing. You want that? Well, you can have it. You know how you can have that? Make Hajj. Make the pilgrimage. If you can't make the pilgrimage, at least make the minor pilgrimage called Umrah. Pilgrimage is only one particular day out of the whole year. And that's the day of Arafat, not Yasser Arafat, the day of Yawm al-Arafat, which is to go and do all of the things related to Hajj. It takes about a week or so, but when you get it on that one day and you're standing on the plain of Arafat and you're praying, and when you come back from that, all sins are forgiven. So I know I transgressed to go into these things, but I want you to know that there is something the opposite of each of these things. So envy, this is mentioned in the Bible. This is the last of the commandments, that you will not have envy for what somebody else has, whether it's his wife or being envious of or having hasad about the wife, or he has animals, maybe he has a donkey, he has something that you want, or a fast car. Today, not donkeys, we don't care about donkeys or camels anymore, but maybe you'd like to have that Lamborghini, or maybe you'd like to have that Porsche, or maybe you're looking at, was that expression I heard somebody say? Oh yeah, they said, "I wish that I have that Bentley." The guy's driving by in a Bentley car. You know, he said, I wish I have that Bentley and he has a feather." And I said, "What is that?" He said, "Yeah, then we'd both be tickled." Crazy, man. Anyway, so the next one, we've already named 4. Number 5 is Beelzebub. Beelzebub is very known amongst those who are the Satan worshipers. They know Beelzebub. That's one of the things mentioned in several of the books that I read many years ago about the devil and his followers. Beelzebub. And this one is gluttony. Gluttony is when the person just eats and eats and eats. They want more food and more. They're a glutton for all this food. And somebody say he was a glutton for punishment. That means that he's going after it. He wants to be punished. You know, that's 5, Beelzebub. Number 6, Satan or Shaitan, and this is what I was speaking about earlier. Wrath. What is wrath? Ghadab. Ghadab in the Arabic language. Ghadab. What is ghadab? It is not anger. Anger is somebody, he's uptight, like, oh man, somebody cut in line and I have to wait an extra, 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and I'm waiting at the traffic light and it froze up, and now I'm sitting here for, I don't know, 5 extra minutes. And I just did a program about that today and posted it on here called Time. If you're watching us on Facebook right now, you can go to right below where you're watching this and you'll be able to see. It's called Time. You can check that out. So, yeah. And Satan is the one that turns your anger into wrath. And the difference between somebody being mad or angry and having wrath, that person is going to not verbalize it. He's going to make it physical. He's going to turn it into something physical, not just saying words. He's going to turn it into a bloodbath. He is going to have all kinds of demonstration with his body. He's flinging and doing and whatever. In other words, fighting. Physically fighting, not fighting as in arguing. No, fighting as in hurting somebody. That's wrath, ghadab. And by the way, we seek refuge in Allah from Allah's wrath. Did you know that? Did you know God has wrath? If you're a Christian and you're watching me right now, oh, no, God is love. Okay. You didn't read your whole Bible, did you? I'm sure you didn't read it, because the mention of God's wrath, the wrath of God, is coming straight out of the Bible. Okay, just FYI for your information. Please don't come at me and start telling me, oh no, we don't buy that, we're Christians. And no. We know that God is loving. It's one of his attributes in the Quran. He is Al-Wadud. Al-Wadud. Yeah, that is the loving. Not love, loving, because it doesn't end. It's not a noun. It's a form of loving. Al-Wadud. The opposite of ghadab. So we seek refuge with Allah from his own ghadab. Let me tell you about that in a minute. I got to answer the phone. All right. Assalamu Alaikum.
Alsalamu Alaikum, brother. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah. Who is this?
This is Fayaz. I'm calling you from Washington State, Seattle.
Oh, mashallah. I haven't been up there in a long time. Are you in Seattle?
Okay. Yeah, I live in Seattle, actually. I'm originally from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Oh, mashallah. Mashallah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the home of the apricots and almonds, right?
Right, that's right.
Aha, I love
So,
the you guys got some terrific food. I love it.
oh, okay, brother. So I always watching your videos, so I never miss it. So I love you, brother.
Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate you. I always appreciate it. So I have some questions regarding the topic that we have today.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
how do we know that somebody is possessed by jinn, and uh, how do we get the jinn out of his or her body? Is there any special verses in Quran that we can recite on him or her?
If what I was talking about earlier is that if you're sure somebody really does have it, then you really need to go to somebody who is familiar with this. Now, somebody being bothered by the jinn, that's all of us. Every human being has people that are, jinn people who are trying to mess you up. We're actually born with one that's with us, just like a second person to us. That's the one who tells us do this or lie or cheat or steal or take this drug or drink alcohol. That's the one telling you to go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. That's okay. So there are jinn who do that, and if it gets too rough, then there are things you can do. But if somebody's possessed, that's a different story. That's when somebody's falling down and they're rolling on the ground and they're foaming at the mouth and they're saying languages that you don't understand and all of that. That's a good sign that maybe that person has a jinn inside them. That's possession. That language coming out of them is actually the jinn who are speaking using their vocal cords. And actually, I've seen it happen that a person who's, what do you call the one who gets the jinn out of somebody? I forgot what they call them. And so I've seen them actually hit on those people, like, to get that jinn out. And later when it's out, the person didn't have a single mark anywhere on them or whatever happened. They said, I don't know that, I don't know what you're talking about. And because when the jinn is taking over, that's a different personality. I spoke about this with a medical doctor one time, and he said that it was very interesting to him because he had been studying about these things, and he wanted to know more about what Islam is saying about that, because he was dealing with people that have multiple personalities, and that sound very much like the jinn. But this is why, if that's the case, you really need to have somebody who's a pro. Not me, not just the average imam down at the local masjid. You need to have somebody that knows what they're doing. And there is one brother that I know of in Detroit that he is experienced in that. Another person I know that's in Oregon, your neighbor, Ashland, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And then another one that I know, it's down in Houston. But I'm not going to publish any of that up here. If you would like to call when we're not on the air, we can talk, and then we can talk about that, because, again, this is a very serious thing. However, now, in the case where it's like you or me and we're starting to get really angry, or we start to get some of these things that we're talking about, is like the wrath, the gluttony, the envy, the lust, the greed, the false pride, the vanity, and all these things that we're talking about, then those things are external. Even though it might feel like I got this problem, I'm real hot inside, I'm really going crazy, but the reality is that could happen to anybody. And here's what has here's what's been recommended for you, the common folks out here, for all of us. Number one, read Surah Fatiha. Surah Fatiha, the very first surah, 7 verses of the Quran. A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. All right. Now that is the first chapter of the Quran, as you well know. You're from Afghanistan, so you probably know a lot of the Quran. So and I'm proud of you for that. I love that. But I'd like to mention for the translation, for benefit of our Christian viewers who are watching us right now, and those who are not Christian, not Jewish, not Muslim, not anything, but you're watching to figure out what's going on. Let me just tell you that there is a translation, a very nice translation for that. We have it on our website. You can go to it. It's called AllahsQuran.com. AllahsQuran. AllahsQuran.com. Then put that slash mark, and then after you put the slash mark, put the word read, R-E-A-D, and it'll take you to the whole entire Quran, and you can read it right there with translation and Arabic. All right. Now, here's the translation of the meaning for that is, after we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which means with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, then all the praises to Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Maliki Yawmiddin, most gracious, most merciful, Rabbil Alameen. The Rabb means the Lord of the worlds, and it's two worlds. So he's the Lord of the Jinn, and he's the Lord of the human beings, the Rabbil Alameen, two worlds. Then it says after that he's most gracious, most merciful, and that he is Maliki Yawmiddin, and that means that he is the owner or king on the day of judgment. And then it says, you only do we worship, and you only do we seek help from, and guide us on the straight path, the path of those that have your favor, Nama, the favor of Allah, and not the path of those that have your Ghadab. Magadubi is from the word Ghadab, and that's what I've been talking about, that we don't want to have the wrath of Allah. Now, it's funny that you called me right then when I was talking about the wrath or the Ghadab, because that made me go to that verse and mention that. Maghdubi alayhim waladalin, not the wrath of Allah, and also not the misguidance. That if Allah doesn't guide somebody, they'll never be guided. So dalala and maghdubi, those two things, ghadab and dalala, we want to stay far away from, because we need Allah's hidayah, his guidance, and we need his what they call loving. He is Allah, the loving God. Alhamdulillah. Anyway, now we come to number 7 of these shaitans or devils, and that's Belphegor. Belphegor, this one is sloth. Sloth means somebody that's like really lazy, so lazy that they're going to lay back, they're not going to do anything, and they are, if they get riled up, they'll hurt anybody who's around them, and they don't care about what happens to anybody. So now we've covered all of that, and I had a good chance to visit with you, brother, tonight. I really appreciate that you
thank you so
called
much,
in,
and I appreciate your answer. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And we love you too.
Can I ask you another question, please?
Sure, go ahead.
So, since earlier you said that we cannot see them, the jinn, they can see us. So I have heard some people, like some of my friends, they're saying they have experienced that they say we have seen the jinns, like, but in different shapes. Like we have seen them like a donkey and animals, these things. Like
Yeah, I have heard that.
correct,
Actually,
or-
we do have another caller. I'm going to ask somebody who's calling us right now. Please just call me back in 5 minutes, or maybe 2 minutes, because I would like to answer the
Okay,
question of
okay.
our brother. Okay, so the question that you're asking about seeing the jinn, it is well established in Islam that we will never see the jinn in their real shape. You will not do that. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, if you could see them, you would be horrified. You would be horrified. They're really ugly, all right, to us. So that's one. The second thing is, yes, they can appear, because they did do appear at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, at the time of Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, peace be upon him. They appeared they appear all the time. I don't mean like all the time, like every second, but I mean in probably every year or 2 years or something like that, there's reports of the unexplained episodes that happen. They'll say it's a ghost, or they'll say it is somebody who has been dead for a long time and they're coming back to talk to somebody, and or they could be that somebody is seeing something and they're thinking that it's UFOs, people coming from outer space, but it's not. It is all from the jinn. That's all from the jinn.
Like Christians say, it's like it's the lost soul.
Yeah, well, it could be anything. The Loch Ness monster. What's that thing that people are always chasing after? Out in the, it's supposed to be like a giant half man, half gorilla thing, or what is that thing called? I forgot. Anyway, so all of these things, these operations that are going on, are nothing more than the jinn, and they're appearing and they're doing this stuff just to misguide people. That's it. All right, and I need to free up the phone so the other brother can call us, but it's so great to talk to you. Watch us again. We're going to be, by the way, everybody, pay attention to this, because guess what? I'm getting ready to tell you where we're going to be this weekend. We're going to be in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. So if you know anybody in Ohio, please share this with them. Tell them that we're going to be there. Let them know what we've been talking about. We're going to be talking about the Arabic language while we're there. We're going to be talking about some of the things that we can do to avoid being misguided. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
I always share, brother. I always do that.
All right, great. And remember,
thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, remember, stay guided with Guidus TV.
Sure.
Assalamu Alaikum.
So, Alsalamu Alaikum. Thank you.
MashaAllah.
Jazakallah khairan.
Wa jazak. Oh, mashallah. MashaAllah. We had another caller. If you want to call back real quick right now, then we'll take your call and any question that you might have about our subject that we're talking about tonight, if you'd like. Otherwise, we're going to go off the air right after that. I'm going to finish this up by talking about these. Once again, Lucifer is the pride, and this pride is an arrogance. That's an arrogance, all right? And then Mammon is the greed, and Asmodeus is the lust. Leviathan that's the envy or hasad. Beelzebub is the gluttony, and Satan is the wrath, and the wrath that we just talked about, Ghadab. And we know that we need to seek refuge from Allah's Ghadab on the Day of Judgment. We don't want him mad at us. That's why we say, Idina Siratul Mustaqim, guide us to the straight path. Siratul Ladina An'amta Alayhim, the path of those who have your biggest of favors, meaning the people who go to paradise, and Ghairul Maghdubi Alayhim, and not the path of those guys who have Allah's ghadab, wrath. What a Daleen, or those people who are lost and couldn't find their way out of any place, you know. Hey, here we go. Salam Alaikum. Yeah. Hello. Salam Alaikum. Oh my goodness. Let me try again.
Mohammed Hassan, you have a caller.
Salam Alaikum. Salam Alaikum. Let me, turn down the volume of whatever you're watching and talk to me. We can hear you. Go ahead. Hello? Can you hear me?
Assalamu Alaikum, Sheikh Yusuf.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi barakatuh. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York. This is Brother Hamdan speaking to you.
Brother Hamdan, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, how's everything with you?
Oh, everything. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise to Allah. We thank Him for everything. Are you enjoying the program tonight?
Alhamdulillah. It's a very special topic. It's a very beneficial topic for many of the brothers and sisters to learn from. Jazakallah khair for your topic and everything.
Well, I would like if people would share this so that a lot of our Christian brothers and sisters can see something other than just debates and arguing, because we do have these things in common. Throughout the Bible, you'll find reference to things that a lot of the priests or preachers either don't take the time or don't know how to handle it or talk about these things. But the jinn are real. They really exist. And if you know what to do, you can really have a much better life. So many people are depressed these days. And I want to do a whole topic about that and how the jinn, the bad jinn, and there's good jinn, by the way. I forgot to mention that tonight. There are some really good jinn. They have actually accepted Islam over the years, and they have they were followers of Jesus. They were followers of Abraham. They've been around a long time, and they know. So I would encourage everybody to share this message. Please, guys, if you haven't done it so far, do it now. Okay, what's the brother? What question do you have for us tonight?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. I just wanted to give my salam to you, inshallah. I have a question. Are you going to come to New York City?
Oh, wow. I'm going to be in Cleveland this weekend. And inshallah, I'm always going to be coming back to New York. As far as the set date, we don't have that yet. But as soon as we do, we'll be publishing it, and you'll hear about it right here on Guidance TV, Facebook, or Twitter, or any of the... Okay?
Inshallah. Give my salam to your family.
Okay.
Jazakallah khair for your lecture. It's been very beneficial, and we will like to see you soon, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi barakatuh. Thank you so much for calling. MashaAllah. That's our brother in New York, Hamdan, and we give a big salam to him and to his family watching right now from there in, I think they're probably in Queens, Astoria, Queens, up there in that area, if I'm not mistaken. But in any case, for all of you, I'm going to wrap this episode up, and we'll be back again if God wills. We'll be back again tomorrow night, same time, same station, right here on Guide Us TV and on Facebook. And if you've got questions, get ready, because we're going to be picking up where we left off. And we've got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Would you like a list of some of the things we're going to talk about? Okay. Well, how about the Dajjal, the Antichrist? There is a whole book in the Bible called the Book of, is it Revelations? Yeah, I think it is. Revelations. That means what's been revealed by God. All right. The last book of the New Testament, the last book in the Bible, Revelations. And how does it stack up with what we know about the last days? The Antichrist, the Dajjal, all of those things. We'll find out about those tomorrow, inshallah. Meantime, brothers, sisters, let's be aware of something very important. Our time. Our time is our most precious asset. It's the only real asset, because without time, we have nothing. When our time is up, we'll be in the grave, and that is it. So whatever you do, be sure to take good advantage of your time. Spend it with your parents, with your children, with your spouses. Spend your time wisely. You never know when you're going to run out of time. Until then, stay guided with Guidance TV. Assalamu Alaikum.